Hey everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog, and welcome to my episode review series. Today's episode review is going to be on the pilot episode of Gotham. And Gotham, it just premiered on Monday, September 22nd. And I'm really sorry that I got this review in kind of late because again I was having problems with my computer, so and I wasn't able to really load this episode on time. Also, the Gotham pilot episode didn't come on Hulu until the day after the episode premiere. So I had to wait a while to get the Gotham pilot episode up and running before I did this review. So that's why I posted the Gotham episode review kind of late. But anyway, here's what's happened in this pilot so far. So what happens in this pilot is that we meet Jim Gordon, a younger Jim Gordon before he became the commissioner of Gotham, and we see how Gotham City is like before Batman came along. And the episode starts off with Bruce Wayne's parents being murdered and James Gordon trying to comfort Bruce and tell him, I'm gonna find out who killed your parents. And after that, we meet this crime lord named Fish Mooney, who's played by Jada Pinkett Smith, and it seems to be excuse me, there seems to be like a big cover up over Bruce Wayne's parents, and they James Gordon and his partner trying to figure out who murdered Bruce's parents, and they also start realizing the darker inner workings of Gotham City itself. So what did I thought about this episode? Well, I think there was some high points and some low points with this episode. I'll go over the high points of this episode. What I liked about this episode is that I liked how they really explore what Gotham was like before Batman came along. We see that Gotham's being run by crime lords, and even the police department is being corrupted by the crime lords. So we see that in Gotham City, crime is like running rampant throughout the streets, and James Gordon is trying to do his best to make Gotham a better place, but he's seeing that the crime is like running in the city, so he's trying to his hardest to try to make it better. But again, Gotham's a very dark place to be, and the crime lords are like really running the city. So I liked how they really showed that darker side of Gotham. I also like how they portrayed Jim Gordon's character. I like the fact that he's heroic and he's trying to do the best he can with Gotham, despite the fact that Gotham is a crime-ridden city. And I liked how he was so determined to figure out, who murdered Bruce Wayne's parents. And I like the little relationship he has with Bruce Wayne, like how he tries to comfort him and tell him, I'm gonna find out who murdered your parents for you. So I really liked how the relationship that James Gordon develops with Bruce Wayne, with the young Bruce Wayne. So that was something I really liked about this episode. I also like the little cameos that they had of the villains in this episode. Like we see the Penguin, we see Poison Ivy, we see Catwoman, and we see the Riddler, like before they became who they are. So it was interesting seeing the villains before like we see an earlier version of the villains before they became who they are. So I really like that aspect of the episode. Now here are some things I didn't like about this episode. I didn't like how they developed the villains in this episode. Like it felt like they didn't really do anything in this episode. Like the only villain who probably did something is the Penguin maybe, but the villain who gets the most prominence in this episode was Fish Mooney, portrayed by Jada Pinkett Smith. I think she was the only villain who was actually doing something in this entire episode, like covering up the murder of Bruce's parents. So I like the fact that Fish Mooney was like a force to be reckoned with in this episode, and I think Jada Pinkett Smith did a great job portraying her character. But I felt like she was like the only villain who really did anything in this episode. All the other villains just kind of showed up and was like, "Oh well, here we are. We're just little brief cameos. We're not really doing anything." So that's what we're here for in this episode. Just coming here for a cameo, just see how many Batman fans can recognize these villains and then not do anything. So that's what I didn't like about this episode was how the villains were being developed and how they didn't really do anything in this episode. I would have loved to see the villains actually do something in this episode, like give Jim Gordon a hard time with his you know his crime fighting. I would have liked to see that. And also, what's up with Catwoman in this episode, or a young Selena Kyle, pretty much all throughout this episode, she just pretty much witnessing everything that happened to all the characters. She doesn't really do anything. So I was like, I would like Catwoman to do something in this episode. Like I felt like the biggest low point with the show with this pilot so far was that the villains just didn't really do anything. The only villain who did something was Fish Mooney. And maybe, hopefully, by the next episode, we'll see the other bat villains actually do something. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen in the next episode. Is they're going to actually do something. So what do I rate this episode? Well, it was kind of hard to rate this episode. I liked it. I liked it. Yeah, I liked the fact that how they developed Gotham, and I liked how they portrayed some of the characters. But at the low end, I would have wanted them to develop the villains a little better and actually have them do something. So I guess my rating for this episode is like this. I'm gonna give it partway a thumbs up because I liked how they developed Gotham. I liked how they portrayed Jim Gordon in this episode. It was great. I think he was in character throughout this episode. But then I'm gonna give it a question mark. And a question mark is like, the episode is just average. Like it's not too bad, but it's not too good either. And I'm gonna rate it an average because I think they could have done a better job with the villains. If they did more with the villains, I think this episode would have been rated higher. But I kind of liked it, and I kind of wish there was more to be done with this episode. So thumbs up and a question mark. So yeah, that's a difficult rating for this episode. Um, so that's my episode review for Gotham. And have you seen the pilot episode for Gotham? And what are your thoughts about it? Please feel free to comment below and don't forget to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated any new videos I post up. And also look out for more new episode reviews every week from me. So if there's a TV series you're watching right now and you want to know what my opinions about each episode are, please feel free to tune in every week for a new TV episode review from me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you later.